their T side seem to be favored, but they're going to go after the CT start in this one.
And straight away for the PACT side, they're going to see if they can get the AWP out for Minis. He's a really versatile player on a map like Inferno. A lot of the time, you'll see him rotating around, always looking for those picks, whether he's out towards brackets, on the city side looking down towards second mid or first mid, or over at the banana position. You'll certainly see that when that orb's in his hands, he likes to move around a lot on the map. And well, for LYNGBY Vikings, they aren't going to start up on T side, and they need to get off to a good start. They need to be able to get some momentum, and it might just come off the back of this pistol. There's already 2 sets of utility coming out from Twinks and Bird from Sky. LYNGBY Vikings, what can we see from them? Maybe a surprise.
Also a reminder to you all that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. As the utility comes out for Lunatic. No kit for this CT defensive initially from PACT. They are very confident with their aggressive stances. Nades up to try and do some early damage here for Lunatic. A very careful sort of play here. The USP is just peeking in, checking out mid, checking out the apartments. So we're being very careful with this. In general, PACT are being very careful. They're playing passive and not taking aggressive faces. 4-man stack to the B bomb site, but LYNGBY Vikings are just as passive of their own right.
And this is, oh, that's a great opening coming out from Rouse, but they might actually continue the pressure over to B, considering that was just a lurker towards that top of banana position. They might not have the information, and even with Sobel going down, this is now only 3 players surviving on the CT side, and now they've got to know it's a B stack.
Yeah, LYNGBY have read this. They realize what's going on here. The passive control, the aggressive face from one player out of the apps position. They're going to commit in full. Typos will realize that nobody is there in pit, and therefore no one is there on site. The plant will be secured. And at this point, PACT are just sort of suppressed here. Not the best of starts on this pistol, but it looks like LYNGBY Vikings will get that much. Coming in from the short position, Darko will try lead the charge for the retake. Again, no kit for this CT side. None was bought in the early part of this utility being used. Malta the force Darko and Goofy back up. Cabby here to the boiler position will face in. Goofy going to fall to Typos next. Darko facing in. Cabby gets his headshot. Enemies, they're out in the open. Crossfire set. And the final kill goes the way of Twinks as the first on the board of LYNGBY Vikings.
Great start coming out for the Danes, and honestly, there were just a couple of overextensions there from the city side. We saw the Jiggle Peak coming up towards top banana, and then a player getting aggressive around that boiler apartments position, and from there, it's a 5-on-3 from LYNGBY Vikings. They've got to lurk over to the B bomb site. They read the stacks coming through. Fast into the A bomb site they go. Great utility usage to try and deny any of a retake coming through for PACT, and well, that's the start they're looking for, but they will have to deal with this force buy attempt. Upgraded Diggles, no scout coming out on the city side, so it does look like the force buy is coming through, but Minis, he's just going to be on a pistol instead.
Nades coming through, damage done to Rouse and Bird from Sky. Mostly to Rouse here on the T side, and LYNGBY suppressed by HEs alone. Not quite enough to get the kills on their board, but the opportunities are there for the pistols to pick up this man. Potentially get the second player as well. Just the Mac 10's being damaged though. The rifles are going to get out of this one unscathed.
All it really comes down to is trying to see if they can read the stack. I'm going to rotate, or thinking about rotating a third player over to that B bomb site. It seems like Minis is going to stay around for a little bit longer. LYNGBY Vikings, very passive so far on this T side, taking their time, slowing it right down, and seeing if they can get the smoke execution into the A bomb site, but they need to be establishing these crossfires to deal with the 2 players here.
Well, Mac 10 up from Bird here, right up against the CT forces. Sobel basically kissing him before he goes down. Goofy will find one trade with the Deagle. Look back in on the bomb partner and keep him suppressed. 57 HP, he eventually gets that headshot against him. Twinks will drop the 4-on-3 now, and the upgrade pistols facing in from long and from short will eventually have to concede the bomb plant here. Not much of a choice for PACT. As the automatic weapons do overwhelm the CT forces, seeing if Darko could potentially find a way in with a Deagle headshot. But I don't imagine much will come through for them here.
Probably just opting to go for the save, just realizing the fact that, okay, we're in a mad disadvantage. It's going to be really tough to try and retake this site. And already Minis is taken down to 13 points of health. So best thing is to, bring those upgrades into the next round, and make sure to at least see if you can get some more kills into the following, because they're only able to get 1 onto rails. And LYNGBY Vikings, it's pretty slow, it's pretty methodical, but it seems to be working so far.
50-50 from Lunatic, hoping to get an exit, but nothing will come through for him. And it's just a Mac 10 lost here for the Vikings. So Eco coming through from PACT. Should see a 3-0 start, as you mentioned. The early part of this half and these early few rounds is working well for the LYNGBY side. AKs, the Galil and the MAC-10, of course. Not quite the full investment round coming in for the T side, but if the MAC-10 can get any frags, then that means money in the bank here for the offensive half. Because the LYNGBY Kings, I feel like they know that they're at the disadvantage in this one. Like, they are pushed up quite passively in a lot of these positions. The nade stats coming through, in fact, going to get the opening kill from passive angles. A nade to return from the CTs doesn't do nearly as much back. And the Vikings open things up with a kill.
Another great start, and well, they're going to just gamble stack the B bomb site now for PACT. They realize, right, we've already lost a player. Let's just see if we can stack up, see if we can find anything with it. Mini's completely blind towards the top of Banana, and, well, they could just walk into A. They don't know it at this point, but they've got the time to work with. They've still got the utility. And for PACT, after a couple of players have gone down without any trade, you'd think it's going to be difficult for them to even find a pick here, Jay.
Nades on P250 will try its best to get one out here against the rifle. The Galil drops one frag, the AK taking some damage, and so will does get bird from Sky. That's a MAC-10 to drop though, so not much again for the Vikings. Maybe if they can get Rowls, that'd be even better for Sobel against Twinks, in fact. So 3 players can stay alive in this one. But the AKs will remain in check. So the buy-up coming in for LYNGBY. We'll see the AWP come out early for the T side. Glass, actually not Glass cannon, excuse me. Twinks did actually buy the Kevlar, but up against the rifles here for the CT side. Minis also get his AWP out with the helmet and Kevlar as well. Lucky utility for him, but it's a full-blown buy for the CT side.
We might start to see a bit of a change-up coming out from PACT. LYNGBY Vikings have been very passive so far in these last few rounds, and maybe a bit of counter-aggression coming out from PACT to see if they can force an opening fight. Might be the way to go, and Miniz, he tried to go for the opening pick, but look at the aggression towards brackets.
The tag being landed by the T side, AWP. Sobel down to 24. Early start here for the T side. No kills going their way at this moment, and they back up a little bit, but they've gained an advantage nonetheless. PACT are going to have to go passive in their playstyle here. Molotov's down over to the short position to enable Sobel not to push forward. It's going to have to remain there in that corner with backup of Goofy. Miniz is there with the AWP over towards the archway, so long control can be contested from passive. He gets that first kill on Typos, falls back immediately to CT, maybe taking a reface, but he stalled the CT side for time.
And they're trying to wrap into B, and already with a player going down, it's going to make this so much more difficult for the T side to have this wraparound to come through. They do trade it back, but Miniz is still lurking.
Darko is going to be the only player to defend the bomb site directly. 6 HP for Cabby. He's so low. Darko has the 2 main forces here to deal with, and the banana push. Bird from Sky takes out Miniz, gets Goofy as well. 4 on 2 now, and this round is suddenly starting to fall apart. They think the rotation has come out in full here from the A bomb side, but Sobel's still here and a kick it. Takes out 1, gets Cabby as well. For now a 2 versus 2 situation, but it's all still going to rest on Darko. They know where this last player is in the back of the site. He's low HP and 20 seconds. As soon as he hears these footsteps, Darko's going to have to force on the rotation and come back here. Sobel waiting and baiting, hoping for the T's to plant open for him, and they might just give him his wish. Flings around the corner, no scope on the man, and the plant will come through to the back. Will Darko up for the retake.
1 versus 2 coming out from Darko, and this is going to be a difficult one. He does have the information, at least, that both the players are on towards the site, so he doesn't really need to be checking the graveyard and pit position unless he thinks that someone's rotated off. And LYNGBY Vikings, all they need to do, peek on each other's contact. As soon as that AWP takes the shot from Twinks, we should see the swing coming out from Rounds, making sure that they're working together rather than giving up individual duels. Darko not looking the right way, and Rails is going to be able to take him down. 4-0 start coming out from the LYNGBY Vikings. And I tell you what, if you're an underdog in a best of 1, this is the perfect start for you.
Absolutely. They talked about whether or not the, about the LYNGBY Vikings chances, and I think you said, listen, they've got to try and get a good best of 1 victory here, and this is a team that could potentially provide it. Well, right now they are providing 4-0 for the T side. And PACT down to the half-by. We're looking at a 5-0 start for LYNGBY Vikings. And quite a surprising fashion as well. I mean, the trade game is what's really getting them quite far. You know, nothing stand out and impressive for any one individual T side member. Lunatic falling down to nade once again. Typos round to the corner at 49 HP. Still gets the kill. Tim and Cabby. Now Miniz face up. Gets that deagle shot back in for the next man. The AK's picked up. Cabby can't quite trade him, so 2 for 1 right now. It's still favored to the T side.
It certainly seems for the Danes, it's the mid round that they really start to take control. A great nade towards the top of Banana to do some damage onto a couple of players. But for LYNGBY Vikings, they're a really difficult team to read because sometimes you see a little bit of aggression coming up to take some early map control, especially around the apartments and brackets position, but then they slow it right down in the mid rounds. And for PACT, they're not really sure. They're never really getting a read on exactly where the information play is. And even in round number 5, you know, we spoke, it should be 5-0. It's certainly looking that way because Maniz was already rotating to B. He's outside of this A bomb site now.
Got to concede the bomb plant at least. The question is, will PACT go for a retake? It may be better to save the AK. Push those 2 pistols in, see if they can get some exit frag, get some extra rifles for the CT forces. Backed up from Maniz. Where does he go from here? How does he want to play this? If he wants to play it at all. Again, for me, my money's on push the pistols in and try go from there. But 20 seconds so far here on this bomb plant position. They may be looking to take them down with a bomb explosion as well. To this point, maybe their best bet. PACT are not going to press forward. They're not going to push in. Not going to potluck this retake. Goofy with the deagle may find one player in apps. Down to timing. It's Cabby. Positioning. Ooh, Cabby doesn't respond. So that's another AK they can use, but they do lose Maniz in the bomb explosion. They can't get the second AK out as well.
Oh, that would have been really nice to recover 2 AKs, but unfortunately just didn't quite get the timing there in time. A 5-0 start coming out for the LYNGBY Vikings. You've got to think for PACT, right? If it's not this round, it's got to be the round after. Yeah, tactical pause. They've got to get it out. Just take a breather. Say, right, all right, look, you know, yeah, we've given them a bit of a good start, but this is where we need to take control. We're certainly, you know, a strong team. Certainly should never be losing to a team like LYNGBY Vikings. Let's just calm it down. Realize what we need to do, just play our own game, maybe see if we can get a little bit of aggressive on the CT side because they have been pretty passive and deep into the sides. Let's get Maniz more involved with this AWP and let's put some rounds up.
Well, a fantastic start so far from the T side. Will it continue that way? PACT have their next rifle round in play. Orbs, the M4s, the AKs. Of course, coming out here with the AKs, AWP for LYNGBY Vikings. Nades up and down between CT and T side presence. The nades on Rowls do more damage to him. Further nades coming in as well. He goes down to the hands of Darko. Support officially from Goofy, but there was a third nade involved in that one as well. And Lunatic pushed up so close as another player looks to take his teammate's position. A smoke down, Bird from Sky. Probably going to be seen out here as the push comes through. Goofy finds one. Lunatic gets another secondary kill. Cabby finds a trade. Maniz trades it right back, leaving it all to Twinks. 1 on 4 outside of Banana. A great hold from PACT, finally getting their confidence start.
That's what we want to see from PACT. Looking, you know, playing with a lot of freedom, especially towards Banana. A lot of nades come down, 3 HGs in total. They push aggressively. They shut it down. And for LYNGBY Vikings, if they want to try and take control of Banana, they need to make sure they're getting in their face and challenging. If they just give it up, it's going to be easy Banana control round after round for PACT. We've seen the utility usage from them in that last round, and I'm sure that's only going to continue. So for LYNGBY Vikings, they need to make sure that they're aggressing in Banana and trying to take the fight.
The AWP in for Twinks. Nades incendiaries out. First shot against Darko is going to get missed, but Rouse is there to back him up. So opening kill going the way of the T side once again. And PACT have struggled getting these openers here, and whenever they do, they have to go back to passive. At that point, LYNGBY Vikings can take control. Maniz finds the trade frag on the AWP. The AWP battle towards mid, turns into a 4-on-4, and again, they're just going to back off, expect aggressive faces, and punish them for it.
PACT are actually going to rotate a second player to try and help the single defender of Lunatic, and he's going to hear the footsteps, he's going to see the utility coming through and ask for a little bit of an assistance. Turning away from the flashbang, Lunatic just lines him up. Couple of easy kills, that bomb's dropped in the open, and Type Boss now is all alone.
Now 1-on-4 for him, the bomb has been picked up, the plant not coming through from the first position. He fakes it once to try force a peek. the CTs, knowing that that is not going to be their MO. They know where the last player is now. He's directly on that bomb site somewhere. A 1 versus 4 for him. So long as they flash and peek together, no need to lose anybody. The Sober will take his position out towards Banana, expecting an aggressive face, and he reads it well. 46 HP for him, doesn't go down. He gets a second on the board for PACT.
And look at the AKs they picked up. That's a really scary thing, is the fact of when CTs win a gun round with like 3, 4, 5 players staying alive, you could just pick up so many AKs and continue bringing them forward. LYNGBY Vikings, they've done a really great job of finding opening picks. It's certainly been a great element at the moment for their T-side defaults. But these last couple of rounds have started to crumble. And it's going to force them on just a half by a couple of upgrades, a little bit of utility here and there. And upgrades, well, we've got some upgrades for you. A Malta V and Malta V15 are some codes to use from our case partners over at Hellcase to get a little bit of money in your pocket. And a 15% refill bonus, but look at the bonus going out towards Banana. Look at the nades, Jay!
Oh, and look at the spray from Darko. 3k for him. LYNGBY Vikings are quickly dealt with here. Twinks will find one good pick. That nade on Twinks, though, trades it back. Almost on the rails. 4k now for Darko. On for the ace. The AK does get recovered by the lone T-side player. The bomb is also back there with him. Might catch Goofy? No. Goofy shuts it down. And a very fast play there. A very fast sort of take. It's either going to go one or two ways. Overwhelming the CT side of getting shut down by one player. It went in the latter of those two options.
And PACT starting to play with a bit of confidence at the moment, really starting to see them come together. But for LYNGBY Vikings, you know, they've still got the upper hand in rounds. They've still 5-3 up. And that fast play into the B bomb site, great spray coming in from Darko. Even the nade placement to get 4. Where is the comeback from LYNGBY Vikings? Can it be the opening AWP? Should have been an opportunity there, but in fact, it's Maniz that's now looking for a pick over towards Banana.
Sundari's out, Flash is over, and Maniz is down. 5-on-4 situation. Molotov's coming through as Goofy on 17 HP. The lowest player right now for the long control here on the A site. Found that much here for LYNGBY alongside that first kill on Maniz. And again, those first picks are kind of limiting PACT's positions. Going to leave Sobel alone here on the B bomb site. Backed up passive to try call for rotations and defend on the retake. But he might not be necessary here. They're going to lean into the stacked A bomb site.
Unfortunately, they just don't have the information at the moment. They don't have the read. And could this be a fate to the A bomb site? Because they do have a lurk out towards Banana, but it looks like for LYNGBY Vikings, they actually might commit to this. And unfortunately, there is a stack being run at that A bomb site. And it all really comes down to a gut feeling here.
Oh, Lunatic falling out of dodge. Maybe ready to defend on the B bomb site. LYNGBY Vikings put the smokes down. The flashes do come back from the CT side, and Twink scopes in, takes Lunatic down. Order Goofy and Sobel. Sobel, also extinguished by the smoke that's up against him. Looking to take the man down. Rouse and Cabby do end up falling. Typos wraps in against them though, so 2 players standing. Bird from Sky slow face into Sobel's hands. Typos jump face takes him down. It's all left to Darko now. M4 up, seeing where Twinks is. It's low HP, but Typos swings out from the pit position, being spotted at 3k for the man and 6 on the board for the Vikings.
And I'll tell you what, really impressed by the utility usage from LYNGBY Vikings on the execution. The way they try and isolate the 2 players on the site. We saw a single player towards that pit position and 1 locked into the site. And for LYNGBY Vikings, they start to take pressure one by one. They deal with the player in towards the side before trying to swing onto the pit player. And getting some really nice trades, playing the numbers game, and we're finding a 6th round on the T side. So all in all, this has been a very, very good half coming out from the LYNGBY Vikings. But look at the pressure down towards Banana. So much utility, instant control.
Much more confident from PACT when they went for this Banana take and this Banana control is where they really got the results on the board. Damage done to Maniz. Once again, the Molotov and the early utility out from the brackets and mid-take. Smokes down, the flash is over. They're going to back off from Banana position on the PACT side. LYNGBY Vikings so passive and careful with how they take this map control.
Certainly a passive team rather than some of the aggressive teams that we've seen so far in the Malta vibes. Bit of a unique style of play, to say the least, on the T side. It's very methodical. Sometimes we see a bit of a change up where they take early map control, but it's a lot of faking. It's a lot of seeing if they could bait out utility. We saw the double pump fake in the last round over to the A bomb side. This time around, they've taken the banana control. They don't have a lurk around the apartments. This is going to be a play into the B bomb side. And look at the read from PACT. There's 3 players here.
Nees is ready for this first phase, for the first shot to be found. A flashbang over, catches him blind, he still gets a collat. Cabby tags up behind Rolls, who does end up falling. Lunatic gets a simple kill. Darko does fall, and Cabby able to get 1 before he goes down. 3-on-3 situation. The orb not connected to the head of Typos, so back to the even standing for the retake. And these trades coming into the backline, the B bomb site, that's still pretty good for LYNGBY Vikings. And now PACT moving up to the retake positions. He smokes up from Sobel. We've got Goofy moving up and everything. The AWP slow facing around the corner as Twinks give up his position. The M4 will not try and spray through against him. Trying to look for Cabby. Maniz goes falling. Typos next to go down. Cabby gets a trade. He's still there somehow towards Grill, getting so much damage done. But low HP, he goes down to Goofy, sticking the bomb. Twinks can't get a spray. He's not doing the damage. No! Oh, he misses every bullet. And that enables a 4th to be stuck away from PACT.
Oh my goodness, that was close from Goofy, and he realizes, he knows the players towards the top of Banana, and he goes, right, it's smoked off, let's just stick it, let's just hope. And unfortunately the spray just does not come through, does not quite connect. And you've got to think for PACT, man, these rounds are so down to the wire in that 3-on-3 post plant. It probably should have been going the way of the LYNGBY Vikings, and PACT, well, they just get a little bit lucky there.
It was a gamble play, certainly could have been played differently and certainly could have gone worse. The AWP battle here in this mid position. Got Twinks set up towards the half wall, and Cabby instead swings out when the MAC-10 takes the AWP down, so no chance for Twinks to strike. Typos grabs his AWP. Gets something out here, but just going to wait and bait and hope for another CT to peek.
Oh, and Maniz was so blind. He was trying to round the corner, but the T side is so quick and to try and counteract that and go fast into brackets. And this is a gamble stack now, even with a 4-on-4, but Goofy finding that kill. There's actually no one on this B bomb side. And now PACT go, right, okay, we're going to just rotate a couple of players back just in case. But now LYNGBY Vikings are looking like they want to try and take brackets. And there's actually 3 players rotating to B.
That's the crucial thing. The swing out from mid saw no T-side players. They got Cabby down and started to evens, but now the counter rotation towards that B bomb site as LYNGBY Vikings also do the same back to A. Sobel with a smoke down and try and keep himself protected as Goofy falls. Flashbang in might enable a chance for Sobel to swing and get a kill. And also Lunatic getting one of his own right. Bird from Sky takes Sobel to 2-on-2 situation. The smokes are up. The CTs are suppressed by a second smoke down from LYNGBY Vikings. But a boost may turn their fortunes. Darko gonna look over, look for someone on the site, look towards the mini pit position. Did he see him? Yes, he did. Bird from Sky down. All left to rouse at the MAC-10. So close to the edge of the corner as well, top of the box and everything. Lunatic gonna face, spray through, drops them both! Oh, the timing from PACT couldn't get much more worse than that. And Vikings are able to maintain their lead.
Oh my goodness, okay, LYNGBY Vikings, man, maybe this is a team we need to keep an eye out for. Oh, what a clutch coming out from Rouse. The 1-on-2 with the MAC-10, great spray control. Oh, gotta be honest, did not expect this coming out into the best of 1. 7-4 up, there's no money for an investment. It just has to be a half buy to come out for the CTs. LYNGBY Vikings. Man, they've come out of the gate absolutely firing. And you've got to think for this Danish players, you know, we spoke about it a little bit in the pregame. You've never heard of any of these guys before. They haven't really been able to ever go very far in their careers. This is the opportunity right now to put a statement and say, you know what, this is our chance to really shine and to actually move up the rankings, because my goodness, are they playing well at the moment.
We've got to keep it going here. Now, for PACT, their main situation is the fact that, statistically speaking, they win more rounds on T-side than they do CT. So the second half may be where PACT are going to try and focus on. Certainly, so far, the way this map has gone rings true to that factor, but obviously not a fantastic start for PACT, considering they won the knife and they picked this side. The Utility up the nades on. The CTs are just going to bait in all that utility. The Molotovs will do a minimal amount of damage to Lunatic. The nades, of course, have been wasted out by all of the T-side members. They got one left on Cabby, but that's about it. The default still playing passive here from Vikings. They have the apartments control at least, so they are aggressive in certain positions, but not over-aggressing.
One thing we've noticed from PACT a lot in this city side is how often they keep rotating stacks between the sites, and that really just comes down to like the mind games that are coming out from LYNGBY Vikings, not really giving a lot of information up. And already they've taken this top banana control. As soon as they take down Darko, or as soon as contact B made, he's going to throw that smoke down, but immediately they've already taken B.
Oh, look at the damage done on this pistol. Two players down to 11 and 10. Darko got 2 dinks on his way up to the setup. Now, this retake on this force buy from PACT may still look to be somewhat workable here. 4 players coming in, a 5th going to rotate back out to the banana position, and the setup on the backstab. Bird from Sky's going to get flashed out to banana control. So, got 2 at dark, 3 from the cross. Smokes down to try and keep those players suppressed, which actually is a very good play from the CTs. If they can get those 2 players down at dark now, this is an opportunity opening up. But Goofy, first to 4 twinks. Typhos there with the glue in the back, gets dealt with by Darko. Sprays Manic from Rolls, will only get himself 1 pick 3-on-3 situation. Is someone on the bomb? Yes, they are, but Cabby deals with him. Sprays back, down from Darko, gets burned. But now they've got to fall back and save their weapons. Darko with 4 picks, trying to make it an ace. Not quite going to make it happen. Twinks will go up with the bomb. And for a force buy, unfortunately, no victory for PACT. They'll make it expensive, but they're up for the eco as LYNGBY Vikings take themselves an 8th.
And I tell you what, the retake smoke to come out towards banana actually really helped PACT get into the site, but unfortunately there was so much spam damage coming out from the 3 players towards the top of banana that they were able to not even deny the defuse coming through or even get on for the bomb for too long. 8 to 4 up, potentially a 9th. And PACT really struggling at the moment on this CT side just to find consistency in rounds. And LYNGBY Vikings, round in, round out, they're finding a lot of success. And it all just comes off the back of this very slow style of play, playing a lot of mind games at the moment.
Yeah, and PACT are getting baited in and falling for a lot of those here. You know they're going to be on the eco, and they are going to walk straight into the B bomb site. PACT stacking A as Vikings go B. Bird from Sky is going to call it in very quickly for a bomb plant, and you know, I mean, it was unlikely they're going to win the round, but still to show no resistance and show no chance for a retake either. It just feels so silent from PACT here.
It really does, and it's a very worrying sign. And sometimes in best of ones, you know, luck can certainly be a big element. And some days, you know, you just get the underdogs that it seems that, I don't know what the reads are or what the calls are, but, you know, they're hitting the right bomb sides. The opponents are gamble stacking the wrong side and getting the wrong information. And LYNGBY Vikings, you know, with a little bit of a luck, with some great calls coming out, they're really securing some fantastic rounds. And that's the first time we've seen them walk into a site without any kind of utility, and they walk into B, realize it's completely open, get a free bomb plant, and they go 9 rounds up. Man, I've got to be honest, when I woke up this morning, I did not think that I was going to see this.
I don't think many people did, to be honest. 9 to 4. Starting to spiral out of control for PACT. Again, if it was their T side, I can understand, but where do you go from here? They really, really need to find a way into this. So the bias coming through on round 14, and PACT ideally need to get something out of this one. It's Bird and Rolls quickly taking apart the 2 first players here from the mid and banana positions. Aggression from the CT side could have come up good, but didn't do much of anything. So 5-on-3 situation, and LYNGBY Vikings just maintain their control.
And those entries just came out so damn quickly. Bird from Sky got an opening over towards the aggressive play out through mid, and then just an easy kill from Rouse towards the top of banana. And swinging onto Darko. PACT. We've seen them gamble stack sites before and disadvantages, and you've got to say you can understand why. They're in a 3-on-5. They don't have a lot to work with here, and they're only leaving Sobel at this A bomb side. This has to be an absolutely monstrous hold.
One standing, good kill from Sobel on the first man, not the second. And, well, Lunatic and Manise just have to save there. They have no choice here for the 15th round. They're going to have nothing to work with on this buy-up. And therefore, it will be 10 on the board for LYNGBY Vikings. And, like, I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this situation, and I'm thinking, yeah, the T side probably is where PACT are going to bring it back, but this is such a far gone scoreline. It is so far gone. I don't even know how you would, how you'd be able to cope with this. Like, this is just such a big scoreline that LYNGBY Vikings, you know, we talked about the best of one upset. It's very possible now.
It really is, and you've got to think for PACT, you know, they've got what it takes to allow a comeback to come through, but it's going to be a difficult task. LYNGBY Vikings, Jay, this season 34 in advance, placed 25th. Not even close in trying to get into MDL. Not even, like, a couple of maps away. They, you know, not even in the question. Wow, this is honestly a tremendous performance. This is an unbelievable start coming out from them. And for PACT, we just haven't seen enough of a variety, enough of a change-up to try and at least find opening picks, because that's where LYNGBY Vikings have come into their own. They're finding opening picks pretty much every single round.
Incendiary is out on the flashbangs here, standing by for Darko, the only player to defend this B bomb site. LYNGBY Vikings ready just to set themselves up, flashes over against him. He does end up falling back here. Further utility coming forward as LYNGBY Vikings look to try and overwhelm this man. A second player, a third also rotating out. Darko burns, goes down to Cabby. Facing from Lunatic, Resmoke comes out, spots one of the back line, but gets traded very quickly before he can even capitalize on the kill shot. Goofy, Sobel, and these last three players remaining for PACT. This is an 11-4 half, it looks like, for LYNGBY Vikings, unless the miracle comes out on this retake, which I don't think it will come through. This is going to be a stunning T-side to start things off, and a stunning scoreline for the underdogs to take in the first half. I would have thought they could have been able to take advantage at best, but not by 11-4. At 8-7, I would have given credence, but 1 on 5 now for Manise. Cabby will shut him down from the back, and there it is. It's official, 11-4 and a half for LYNGBY.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the Danish scene, but I want some of it. I mean, you look at the tier 2 teams that are in Denmark at the moment. You've got your AGF boys, you've got the Trick lineup, you've got Singularity, who have been playing in Malta Vibes. You've got Existence, who, you know, just picked up the Copenhagen Flames roster. And, you know, even LYNGBY Vikings, and maybe you throw Ambush in there, you know, bottom teams, you know, not even, I would even consider tier 2 teams at this point. And the odds that our good friends at Lootbet, 4.59 up for PACT and 1.16 up for the LYNGBY Vikings. If you do want to get involved in those odds, they've got some great extras, some great bonuses. You can check their link out underneath the Twitch channel. Jay, this is probably for us, it could be the biggest upset we've seen in Malta Vibes.
Well, it could well happen, you feel like. Ooh, Typos shutting out one good frag, and that certainly is a good pick to find. Quick headshot, Manise dealt with almost immediately there. And LYNGBY stacking out the B-bomb site as well. They think there's a lot of resistance here towards the A site. The peak's coming through. Look at Cabby and Rolls dropping that bomb, getting another man advantage. A trade comes in from Sobel with a 4 versus 2 for them. Smoke up may provide a chance to pick up the bomb, but they're even taking tag damage on this one. Just taps up. LYNGBY Vikings going to fall back because they know that they're going to have to get to a bomb site anyway. Just stay here on B. If the flashbangs start coming through, they'll realize what's really going on. This is still going to be a PACT hit to the B site. So with the bomb out first. And Lunatic there to back him up, but the crossfire now set, the peak in. Twinks can't quite see where Sobel's out. The smoke up, and Cabby still here, sees the headshot of the man, takes him down. Lunatic last man standing, finds himself one pick, but a 1 on 3 still to get.
This is going to be a really tough one coming out from Lunatic. If he can get a bomb plan, that's probably his best chance, and he's going to try and fake it out, see if he can bait them to peek out to the open, and he's been able to at least bait them in, but he can't find any kills with it. A 12th round up for LYNGBY Vikings and PACT. They were desperate for a bomb plan. In that 1 versus 3 there, they're so desperate to at least be able to force the issue going forward. and they're going to force without a bomb plant. Not something you see very often, and it means you're only going to have pistols. You're not going to be able to get those Galils or those MAC-10s up.
I have to say, where's the adjustment from PACT? Where's that, you know, like flicked switch that brings them back into contention? You know, where's that that good sort of round? They managed to get the momentum to their favor, because we haven't seen it so far. You know, they managed to get forced so far on the CT side. I would have thought with the T side switch, that would have been their way to get aggressive and start doing things against LYNGBY Vikings, but they can't quite deal with the type of face that Vikings are taking, or the type of kills that they're getting. The trade's going well enough for the Danes, and PACT just struggled to get some sort of start in on these rounds.
They've had a very slow start in this best of one, and it's only continuing. This has been a really poor showing coming out for the PACT side, and something that we really shouldn't see from them. Bomb being dropped out towards brackets, just an absolute cleanup coming out through the CT side. Deagle's not really finding anything. Goofy's going to find a single pick, but that's going to be pretty much it. You shouldn't expect they can find too much more from here. And LYNGBY Vikings 2 kills away, 1 kill away from a 13th. And you got to think for PACT, you know, they're certainly look like they're locked out of this best of one. Now, going forward, it will be best of 3s. It's only best of 1s for the opening matches of Group B. Maybe they can turn it around in the best of 3s, but I'm seriously worried for PACT. This is a very poor performance from them.
Truly it is. Like, considering, you know, the team you're up against, you know, I mean, again, not to rag on LYNGBY Vikings, not to, you know, put them down any further, but they were out last place in both weeks of their Malta Vibes sort of, you know, entries. So the fact that they're here now and they're looking like they're going to get their first map win in this tournament. Oh, their first best of 1, I should be more specific. They actually got
best series of whether it's best of 1 or best of 3. Like, that's huge. That's absolutely massive.
It puts them within 1 best of 3 going to the playoffs, which for LYNGBY Vikings is, you know, a massive deal, I think, in consideration of where they've been at Malta Vibes. And with PACT getting an eco, they're going to get to 14 rounds. So it's not out of the realm of possibility here.
It certainly isn't. And LYNGBY Vikings are so close now. They're so close. And for PACT, it's when are they going to show up? At what point do we see a round where we go, damn, like PACT to back? Because even in round 18, it's just going to be Glocks. They're going to be running in, and it's going to be another slaughter coming through. Just absolute cleanup. Shouldn't be a bomb plant to go out. A 14th round should be up for the CTs and Minis. Last one left. Bit of damage being done to Cabby, but all in all, that is a very swift round from LYNGBY Vikings. 2 rounds away from, like you said, Jay, getting their first victory in now 3 weeks being played in the Malta Vibes.
Well, the Vikings, moments away, you must feel like 2 more rounds, as you mentioned. With the rifles coming in from PACT, it may well be their chance to start finding their footing here. Would have hoped there would have been a pistol round that would have done that here in the second half. The orb coming out for Twinks though, and immediately PACT are just going to try and push the SMGs close. It's going to be a bonus round for these 2 players, and at the very least, Bird from Sky takes out 1, gets a second kill. Goofy completely blind. And Riles, well, actually, Bird from Sky will go down to the second man, so a 3-on-3 situation. That's the SMGs cleaning up 2 picks, though, with the M4s and the AWP still left standing. This is such a good start for the LYNGBY Vikings to take, as Maniz looks the wrong way. Typos will take him down. Perfect swing, perfect timing. And Goofy and Slowball left to the banana control. Twinks ready for one of them. Flick back does not quite land it, but now going to call for backup as he falls back passive and defends the B side directly.
And he needs help, and he needs help now. The rotates are coming in very slowly from Typos. It's really going to come down to Twinks. If he's able to defend, they're not going to rotate that 3rd player over just to keep him at A in case of a counter rotation coming out from PACT. Oh, and they're boosting up. They're seeing if they can check out the dark position. But for Twinks, he's around this new box area. Yeah,
they're not going to see anything from Coffins or from Fountain. It's passive from the Vikings. 40 seconds for PACT. I don't know if Goofy's looking to set up a Molotov back into new box. There's a possibility.
Typo's got so many nades.
Just in case. He has. He's got so much. You're right. The smoke is up, going to get set up towards the site itself, not towards Cross, actually. That's not going to be too much of a problem as they make their way in. AWP now spotted back there, 17 seconds. And Twix scopes in, ends up going down to Goofy, but Typods gets himself a kill in the interim. 3 frags for the lone T-side member. 10 seconds, bomb plant has got to come through. Typods are going to swing out, take him down, and get us to match point for LYNGBY Vikings. And wow, I thought this one might be quick. I did not think it would be quick to the Danes.
If you're just joining the stream, no, the HUD's not broken. It's not 15-4 up for PACT. It's 15-4 up for the LYNGBY Vikings. My goodness. 9 rounds in a row from them. They've continued the momentum out towards the end of that second half. And PACT have just not shown up at all in this best-of-1 series. And LYNGBY Vikings, my goodness, how much this would mean to them.
This is possible now. This may well be happening, to be honest. Don't really see the responses coming through from the CTs out towards Banana. They get a 1-for-1 trade with HP going against Lunatic and Goofy. These AKs, and this AK and this Galil, so limited in what they can do from here. And I mean, in general, PACT sort of buy-up was already looking pretty dire. They've got a scout out for Maniz. They will start taking their face in the AWP. Oh. Twinks quickly flicks back towards one. Goofy gets one good kill, but 31 HP. He's forced to fall back, and PACT are going to rotate out to the A-bomb site.
Oh, but Sobel's been able to actually cross out through short. They won't know this from Cabby. This is going to be a very difficult fight to try and win out, but the rotates are coming in pretty quickly to A, but the utility now starts to continue, and PACT, they're on their way to this A-bomb site, and Goofy could be the man of the hour.
Twins gets one. He's got a player right behind him, though. Gets himself a 2K. AK headshot comes back to one-on-one. Goofy, probably the standout player, I'd say, for PACT so far on his T side. Now with a one-on-one chance to keep his teammates alive. And he barely gets the bomb plant in. Raul's going to make his way up aggressive as soon as this AK takes face. He needs that flashbang to support. Looking for the headshot. Flashes himself as Raul's now moves in. Knows he's behind that box somewhere. Looking for a headshot, and he gets it as well. 2 kills to his name. 16-4. LYNGBY Vikings, of all teams, will take the best-of-1 victory and move up to the best-of-3 qualification playoffs. I did not expect that today.
And I'll tell you what, like, people say, you know, oh, best-of-1s can offer upsets. That is a huge upset.